Thank you so much for joining us today at Congressman Liu's 2022 Congressional App Challenge virtual reception. I want to give a quick shout out to our intern, Morgan Lee, and our district director, Nicolas Rodriguez, for helping with the event tonight. Without further ado, I'll hand it over to Congressman Liu to give some opening remarks before we dive into the program.
Good evening. Thank you, Aurelia, and thank you all for participating in the Congressional App Challenge. Very pleased that this year we had 15 submissions from 14 schools with 26 participants. I'm a big supporter of this Congressional App Challenge. It's something that occurs nationwide, and that's because we need to make sure that our young people are prepared for the 21st century. I am a recovering computer science major myself, and I'm a big believer in STEAM and want to make sure that we give young people the incentives and tools to be able to prepare for a lifetime where technology is going to be really important in the 21st century. I'm also pleased to represent a district that has Silicon Beach, that has great institutions like UCLA and Santa Monica College. It's got LA Air Force Base, the headquarters of Space Systems Command. There's a lot of aerospace and technology industries in the district. And I want to foster the number of people that are interested in technology. I'm also very pleased that we have amazing judges every time we do this Congressional App Challenge. So I want to thank Mark Fisher, CEO of Dogtown Media, William Gooden, Industry Relations Coordinator at UCLA, Electrical and Computer Engineering Department, Howard Stahl, the Department Chair of Computer Science and Information Systems at Santa Monica College, and Wenting Zhao, Technical Program Manager at SNAP. With that, Aurelia, why don't you take it away, and we're going to see these apps that the students made, and then I'm going to announce the winners at the end.
Great, thank you, sir. So we can go on to the next slide. Thanks, Morgan. So the first app that we will be seeing today is called Pocket Shield by Abigail Chang. Pocket Shield helps manage a user's data online, passwords, digital footprint, browsing history, and provides a secure chatting network that allows users to send messages through a safe connection. And we're going to listen to their submission video now.
Hi, my name is Abigail Chang, and I created the app Pocket Shield. Cyber hacking, phishing, and malware attacks have all been beyond prominent in just the last couple of years. Just to show how dangerous these attacks can be, in 2014, one of the biggest search engine companies in the world, Yahoo, was hacked by a singular email sent to a Yahoo employee. From there, Yahoo's database was extremely vulnerable, meaning 500 million users' data were exposed, including credit cards, phone numbers, birthdays, and even house addresses were available to all hackers. My own dad was phished through his email. He had clicked a link he had mistaken to be from the store Target. This is why I created the app Pocket Shield. I wanted to create this app to allow people to not only be educated and aware of cyber attacks, but how to prevent them, and just how vulnerable the average user can be. Pocket Shield is an app that helps prevent cyber attacks from happening in the first place. Pocket Shield allows you to manage all your passwords on a secure network. Pocket Shield checks your browsing history to prevent potential suspicious activity. It scans through your digital footprint online and tells you step by step how to keep your footprint clear and safe. It helps you remove data online to prevent data brokers from selling your data to third-party companies. It allows a safe and secure chatting network to allow you to chat friends and family about certain topics that may spike hackers. And lastly, it gives you the latest news on cyber attacks that you should be aware of. In order to create the app Pocket Shield, I used the platform Xcode as well as Thunkable. These two platforms allowed me to incorporate Android users as well as iOS users. When the user first enters the app, they are taken to the sign-in screen. After creating an account, the user can log in and is taken to the homepage. The homepage consists of the latest news on cyber attacks that users should be aware of. From there, they can enter our browsing security feature. They can enter browsers they use on the daily, and the app will tell them which are secure and which are not. From there, our user can also access our password manager, which stores all of their passwords on a secure network and allows the user to check them very easily. Next is our digital footprint shield. Our app scans through suspicious activity on your device and takes into account how you can improve. Next, our data removal service. This service finds your data across all platforms and tells you what to do to specific accounts or search engines and how to do so. Lastly, users Users can access our chatting service. They can chat other users in the area or friends and family. Here they can send specific messages, links, videos, and pictures they want to keep safe and not sending on messaging platforms such as Messages or Instagram. Pocket Shield, preventing cyber attacks one user at a time.
Thank you so much, Abigail, for submitting that. We're going to move on to Social Stock by Alex Z. Using information from social media as a predictor, this app computes data and effectively predicts the performance of the stock for the next 3 days. By doing this, users of this app could easily get informed through instant quantitative prediction instead of having to read all over social media. And we're going to listen to the video now.
Hello, Congressional App Challenge. My name is Alex Xie, and I am a junior currently attending Chadwick School in Palos Verdes Peninsula. Over the course of the year, I created the Social Stock app, which helps amateur investors who wish to invest in the stock market. Social Stock provides accurate predictions on stock performance based on social media trends such as the number of tweets on a specific stock in Twitter. With an increasing participation and investment, there comes with a lack of information, and this is really unfair to those amateur investors who wish to multiply their wealth through stocks. Therefore, the sole purpose of this app is to help these investors with their buying decisions, making sure their wealth is spent in the most efficient and effective manner that brings them huge return. So this app is actually created using 2 languages. The screen you're seeing right here is the backend of the app, which is created using Python and Replit. And here's the front end of the app, which is created using Flutter and a language of Dart, a language very similar to Java. On the right, you can see there's an Android emulator, which mimics exactly what the user will be seeing on their device. And I will show you the app. So upon clicking into the app, there's a splash screen right there. And then we head to the home screen. The home screen contains 2 features, one trending now feature and another watchlist feature. Pretty much all the stock apps have these features. If I just click into a stock, you can see there are 2 graphs. One price graph is very straightforward, just the price of Boeing on different days. And then the other graph is the social trend graph, which is the number of tweets on Twitter that people are discussing. The most important part on this page is the prediction on the bottom. This app is able to predict Boeing's performance for the next 3 days. As you can see, tomorrow Boeing's price is going to increase by 0.57%. Another really cool feature is the search bar feature. This is crucial because it allows the user to search up all the 6,000 stocks in the stock market that are not displayed in the home screen, but they do exist. They're in my back end. For example, I'm going to type in Tesla right here. You can see the interface is the same as Boeing, but the details are different. The graph is different and the predictions are different. Tomorrow, as you can see, Tesla is going to decrease by 0.12%. If you look towards the top right corner of the emulator, you can see there's a heart button. If you click this button, it says add it to your watch list. And this is exactly what I showed you before. You can see right now that Tesla is in my watch list. I just added this. Similarly, if you want to remove it from your watch list, you just click this button again and boom, it's removed from the watch list. And that's pretty much it about this app. Thank you for watching.
Thank you so much, Alex, for submitting that. We're going to move on to the next one.
Hello, Congressional App Challenge.
Okay, Noteworthy by Brandon Kirbyson and Tobin Palmer. Noteworthy transforms any website into a canvas, allowing you to express your creativity with different tools such as drawing, notes, and more. Noteworthy also saves your data with the assurance that your notes stay for your further visits to the website.
Hi, I'm Brandon Kirbyson.
And I'm Tobin Palmer.
And we are the creators of Noteworthy.
Noteworthy is a browser-based extension that allows you to annotate websites.
As students, after the pandemic, with the major shift to digital education, we looked for an app to take notes, but either they were too expensive or didn't do what we wanted.
Noteworthy makes taking notes easy because you can mark up the page that you are on directly instead of having to open a separate document.
With Noteworthy, it makes a website like a sheet of paper. You can go here and you can draw, and you can also highlight, and then you can also make like lines or arrows pointing to something. shapes if you want to like circle or box something.
You can take notes with an advanced text editor that allows you to highlight text, bold things, and then do a lot more.
And in the notes, you can write like just a short comment, or you can make a bullet list of any reminders.
One of our goals when making Noteworthy was to make the app not conflict with any pre-existing content on the website. That's why you can drag around the interface anywhere. Also, you can change the visibility of the notes to make them transparent in case you need to see what's behind them.
Noteworthy saves all your notes per website and locally on your device with the local storage API so that the data doesn't go through external databases where your data could be collected. To make our app work on any website, which is a big challenge, we had to make our own API.
For our app, we use TypeScript, which is a superset of JavaScript. TypeScript allows you to add types to variables and makes the compiler stricter, which gives your code more security. Since the browser can't understand TypeScript, it compiles it into JavaScript. This also allows the code to be understood by more and older browsers.
We also use Sass, which is a superset of CSS, giving us more utilities and also allowing us to limit conflict with the website.
Once both languages compile, we use Gulp. Gulp is a tool that allows us to bundle all our code into one file, which makes it more performant and easier to distribute. So we made this app for us and other students, but it can work for anyone.
Thank you to the Congressional App Challenge for giving us this opportunity and pushing us to learn more and make our own app.
Hopefully you think our app is noteworthy.
Thanks, Brandon and Tobin, for that great app. We'll move on to the next one.
Ben Kirbyson.
And I'm
We're moving on to our pantry by Cameron Asher, Gregory Forston, Young Kim, and Andrew Galen. Our pantry is a web and native app that assists food shelters in managing inventory and donators in providing goods with an easy to access streamlined interface. Users looking to donate will have an easy access to information about food shelters, such as items that are in demand and the location of nearby shelters. And with that, we'll listen to the video.
Hi, I'm Cameron Asher.
I'm Andrew Galen.
I'm Young Kim.
And I'm Gregory Forston. We're all seniors at Beverly Hills High School.
The app, Our Pantry, helps fight an ongoing problem in Los Angeles.
Homelessness and poverty is on the rise in our county, leading to an increase in the demand of food banks.
That's why we created Our Pantry, an organization system to assist both over and understocked food pantries to better provide support to those in need. By providing an easy-to-navigate interface, both food banks who want to organize and donors who want to contribute can use the app.
Here, you could choose to log in as a donor or shelter. Here, you could choose to log in or sign up.
Non-food banks can also use the app.
As a shelter, you can add items to the inventory manually. Or scan them.
Now, let's look at donor mode.
You can view shelters in your area.
Now you can see everything the shelter wants if you want to donate. You can also change the distance.
There is also a map to view nearby food banks. Clicking on a marker brings you to the request page.
For our backend, we use a Spring framework and use Java and MongoDB. For the map interface, we use a coordinate API to create geospatial queries to find nearby shelters. We also use the Brocade API to scan barcodes and search for items.
For the front end, we used React with CSS and JSX to implement the design we made in Figma. We used REST queries with Fetch to collect data from our Spring backend. We also used the Google Maps API to map food banks to the users. Finally, we used Apache Cordova to convert our React app into a native app for iOS and Android.
We're here at World Harvest Food Bank, utilizing Our Pantry to help organize items and help our community.
Thank you, Cameron, Gregory, Sayan, and Andrew for that great app. And we'll move on to the next one. So the next one is Weather App by Evelyn Bogosian. In this app, you will find in the text box whatever place you want, and it will show the temperature, maximum temperature, minimum temperature, humidity, and wind speed. And with that, we'll listen to the video.
Hello, I'm Evelyn Bogosian, and today I'm here to show you the Weather App. So, the Weather App shows you the temperature, minimum temperature, maximum temperature, humidity, and wind speed of whatever actual place you want. For example, I'll put like Santa Monica, and we get everything. We get the temperature, minimum temperature, maximum temperature, and yeah. There's a small app that I worked on for a bit, and I think it's pretty good. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Evelyn. We'll move on to the next one.
Hello.
So the next one is Clubology by Hank Cow. By establishing a basic framework of users and clubs, this mobile app serves to facilitate organization and communication across and within clubs and high schools in particular. So we'll listen to the video now.
Hello, my name is Hank Cow, and my submission for the Congressional App Challenge is Clubology. During my 3 years in my high school science Olympiad team, I noticed that there could have been many improvements made in terms of club organization and communication, and as a result, member motivation and participation in the club were greatly diminished. In search of a solution to this problem, I started to envision creating an app that could help the team schedule and get every member on the same page. Then, after interviewing several of my peers, I realized that many also had difficulty keeping track of all the different clubs they were in. From Google Classroom to Slack to Discord, there was no central hub where they could access all their clubs at once. Some even communicated only by email. So, my idea went from initially being made to help out my Science Olympiad team to a general use app that is suitable for all clubs and groups, whether they are academic, special interest, or sports related. I wanted to allow all the clubs at my school to be able to create their own unique identity on this platform and reap the benefits of enhanced organization, communication, and even advertisements. By establishing a basic framework of users and clubs, this mobile app serves to facilitate organization and communication across and within clubs, in high schools in particular. After starting the app for the first time, users create an account by entering a username, email, and password, and then are directed to the main page. After pressing on the plus icon, users can create a club by entering a name, uploading the desired photo, adding a description, and entering an optional location used to determine which users are potentially interested later on. Here in the homepage, you can find the club that you just created or any other clubs that you may join in the future. Below it is the recommended clubs list, generated by using a geographic location API to read the user's location and comparing it to the locations of any other nearby clubs. After creating a club, in the first tab, the owner can edit the club's information on the club's homepage or even delete the club. In the second tab, the owner can create events to schedule meetings or other important dates by filling out important information such as the date, time, location, etc. Finally, and most importantly, in the third tab, the owner can invite new members to the club by searching for them by email and including a message. So I'm on my phone right now, and I'm going to log into my account. Now I logged in, and I'm going to go to the inbox, and I'll see the invite is here. I'm going to go ahead and accept it. Go back home. Bam, I'm now in Hank's club. However, it is also important to note that when a user wants to join a private club, the owner of that club in turn receives the request and then can accept or reject it accordingly. Finally, users are also able to personalize their accounts on the profile page by editing their username, email, or password. I used the Flutter framework and the Dart programming language to create this app. For my backend, I utilized Firebase, and the IDE I used was Android Studio. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Hank. We'll move on to the next one. Student Voices by Honol Ju. Student Voices is a web-based application that is designed to connect students to student government leaders so that the student body can voice their concerns and issues on an online platform. And we'll listen to the video now.
Hi, I'm Hanul. I'm the creator of Student Voices. At my school, a prevalent problem that I noticed is students being unable to communicate on the school system comfortably. That's why I plan to revolutionize this issue by using my app, Student Voices. If you are a student at my school, you would know that it's infamous for its long lunch lines. If someone believes this to be a pertinent topic that is not discussed enough with the student representatives or anyone related to the student government, they can fix their proposition on said issue. Users can log into Student Voices using their Google account like shown. Once inside the app, users can make a post. Users can also see all the posts made by other users. When an admin deems a post needs a change, they can easily change the status of a post. Admins can also manage posts, like so. Inside posts, users can also comment and like them. Users have a basic profile with their information. Users can also filter posts by grade. Along with that, users can also see grade-specific posts. Posts can be searched for like so. Using React and Next.js, I was able to develop Student Voices. Using a backend that I have deployed to Heroku, any and all posts and comments will be saved into the Student Voices MongoDB. With Vercel, I made the front end visible to anyone. In short, my app will allow any student to share their thoughts. I value transparency over anything else, and I hope doing so will unite the students, student government, and teachers.
Thank you so much, Hanul. We'll move on to the next app. This is Ataxia V by Himasu Wu and Minkyol Song. Ataxia V allows patients to draw lines, rectangles, and other shapes, tracking the location of their fingers to obtain quantitative data on their movement path mobility, allows doctors to help doctors diagnose ataxia objectively and accurately. And we'll listen to the video now.
Hi, I'm Himosu Wu. We will introduce our application program Ataxia V, Quantitative Assessment and Treatment System for Ataxia on the Cloud. Ataxia is a degenerative disease of the nervous system that is caused by damage to the cerebellum. Ataxia is similar to the Parkinson's disease. Some patients have trouble walking, speaking, swallowing, or moving their eyes. In some cases, ataxia can even lead to death. Although it is a serious condition, it is rare, so data and research on it are lacking. In order to evaluate ataxia of the upper limbs, neurological tests include the finger-to-finger test, the finger-to-nose test, and the PEG test. The problem with these tests is that it is difficult to obtain a quantitative value, and as a result, leads to inconsistencies in evaluating the patient's condition and treatment effectiveness.
We developed Ataxia V1 to ensure that all patients were tested and diagnosed in a standardized environment, implementing the use of computers during the process to obtain the quantitative data accurately. Ataxia V1 collects quantitative data by testing and analyzing the abnormality in patients' upper limb motor control through online resources. In a 900 by 600 region on a 1080 by 1920 touchscreen monitor, a patient draws a straight line connecting the starting and ending squares with their fingers as the system simultaneously collects the data. An analysis is performed on the number of failed attempts times the patient's finger moves out of the designated experimental area, discontinuities, reverse movements, completion time, and total deviation area. Using OpenCV and a blue marker, Ataxia V2 aims to eliminate the limitations of the patients on a computer screen by conducting the experiment in a 3D environment, which is similar to current diagnosis methods.
Ataxia V3 was developed to not only test and to bring quantitative data, but to perform rehab exercises as well. We developed Ataxia V3 to make 3D games using Unity and Leap Motion controller so that patients can participate more actively in testing and rehab exercises. The touching rhythm game is where patients touch randomly appearing balls to make them disappear, and through this game you can test the stretching and pointing of the arms and shoulders. The throwing object game is a game in which you grab a box and throw it to hit a target, testing the grip strength of your hand and the control of the patient's arm to initiate the throw. The voice recognition maze game is where patients give a command with their voice to move a ball in one of 4 directions. Up, down, left, right, to collect coins located around the maze so that speech-impaired patients can continue to speak and practice targeted pronunciations. We are currently developing an accumulating stage on the cloud. The web app system of Ataxia serves as a data-intensive application, as it can be easily accessed without an expert, with a reasonable operating cost and no prerequisites required to run the system. With the data collected, machine learning will diagnose ataxia patients more accurately and develop new treatment methods as soon as possible.
Thank you so much, Shimasu and Minkyo, for that great app. We'll move on to the next one. Okay, so Puzzles of Basic Physics by Ichiro Suzuki, James Chung, Justin Tsai, and Sean Oyama. This app aims to give an early concept for young students on basic math and science topics. These include mechanical advantage and gear ratios, some of which are commonly used in engineering, taking place in a small escape room type setting. The player must solve these new physics concepts through visual puzzles to progress to each section of the room wall. And with that, we'll listen to the video.
Hi, our team is comprised of Ichiro, which is me, Justin, James, and Sean for this year's Congressional App Challenge. We titled our game The Engineering Principles, as it aims to teach younger students about the basic concepts of engineering, as we thought it would be interesting to try to make such a game based on our brainstorming that we did before we started development, which comprises of a 5-page document documenting everything about what kind of game we wanted, if we wanted a story, what kind of topics we wanted. Our game was targeted for around the middle school kid, as we said, because we thought it was the best before high school. And we used the Godot engine for our game, which we programmed in GDScript, which is heavily based on Python. So this is our game. For this first question, it asks how many rotations the small gear spins for every 3 rotations. Now, to move around from each wall, you want to press A or D. And then you get to the keypad once you press D in this situation. And we know, based on the how the teeth move, that once the large gear spins once, the other small gear spins twice. So we know that it's 0, 0, 0, 6 is the combination. And you'll get the correct combination. We go to the next one, and it's the scale to unlock whether it's Q or E, to add or remove blocks from the fulcrum. And our goal is to balance out the fulcrum so you can get the code. So you can see, as I add more, the fulcrum gets closer and closer to being even. Eventually, it's going to balance out, and you want to get that perfect amount to where it balances out. And eventually, if you click off of it, you can click on and off. Eventually, you'll be able to get the code. So, if you want to remove one block, you want to press Z, and you can add or remove blocks on each side. So, as we get closer and closer, we can almost get the code, and eventually, it'll very slightly flash up there, and it'll say the secret code is 1197. So you want to go back to this keypad, and then you want to type in 1197, and then you finish the game. Unfortunately, while we couldn't do everything we wanted to do, especially in the short time, I'm satisfied with the brainstorming that we were able to do, and wish to actually complete the projects once this Congressional App Challenge ends. Thank you.
Thank you, Ichiro, James, Justin, and Sean, for that great app. We'll move on to the next one. The next two apps have elected to demonstrate their app live. So we'll do Fit Explore and then we'll do Green Check. Justin, I've allowed you to be able to share your screen. So Morgan will take off our slide, and Justin, you can share your screen now.
Hello, my name is Justin Kim, and this is my app Fit Explore. So Fit Explore is this kind of hybrid between a fitness app and a geocaching app. Well, you might be wondering first, what is a geocaching app? Well, geocaching apps are apps where you kind of walk around in real life and navigate to try and look for hidden stashes that people hide. It's a similar concept to Pokemon Go, except in Pokemon Go, they had you collecting Pokemon. Well, I looked at some geocaching apps and I realized that there are some issues with a lot of them. A lot of them were difficult to use, a lot of them had unintuitive design, and they didn't really give you much incentive to go out and collect caches. As you can see with some of these apps, they can have pretty small text and it can be difficult to figure out how to get started. So this is my app. And as you can see, this is the screen where the player starts. And I created this app with the goal in mind that I wanted to be as accessible as possible so many different kinds of people could go out and exercise. So as you can see, this is the map. And you can go to your player profile screen, which it shows you various stats and things like badges that you can collect. As you can see here, this is a badge for walking, say, a certain distance. It can also show you friends, which allows you to connect with other players and create a community. It also shows you more detailed stats and where you've walked. As I mentioned before, there's also medals that users can collect in the game, which provide an extra incentive, which is also known as gamification, to encourage people to get outside and walking. It also collects an adventure log so users can keep track of various accomplishments they've had in their game. And it also lets some users who like to compete so they can see who can do the most walking in a certain amount of time. There's also various settings in the game which allow users to customize their experience. Let's say this user doesn't want to compete. They just want to casually, occasionally walk around and let the app track their walking. So they could disable the competition option if they don't like the stress of it. Also, they could change various settings such as button text labels and high contrast mode if, say, they are colorblind or have certain issues reading things. I want my app to have a positive impact on my community. As I mentioned with my example of Pokemon Go, I had a lot of fond memories walking around with my dad and meeting other people catching Pokemon. So I wanted an experience that other players could walk together and get good exercise, because research shows that even doing a small amount of exercise can dramatically reduce the rates of things like heart disease, strokes, and diabetes, which are all very, well, things you really don't want to have. And it's also an impact on our healthcare system, because if people aren't going outside, as we've seen with the COVID pandemic, well, people are more susceptible to these diseases. And later, I want to try doing a beta launch of this app to actually try and get it out to other people, maybe add different functionalities that will help people get outside and get exercise. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Justin, for demonstrating your app. We'll move on to Green Check. Is everyone on? So Samantha will be sharing her screen.
Okay. Hi, this is Green Check, the sustainability calculator created by Brianna. Samantha, Kate isn't with us right now, and I'm Leonie for the 2022 Congressional App Challenge. The light bulbs you bought yesterday, the shirt you're wearing, and even the computer that you're watching this presentation through, all of these are purchases that are contributing to climate change, a pressing issue. Our existence as humans, in some sense, is the problem, as well on average, each person in the US generates at least 14 tons of greenhouse gases per year. This is more than 3 times the global average, but these statistics don't mean that change and sustainability are impossible for individuals to combat. Giving up in the face of the enormity of numbers and the insignificance of our individual impact is a nationwide choice, but it's ultimately the cause of our downfall. Our solution here is Green Check, a sustainability calculator that helps you make more sustainable choices while shopping.
Our calculator uses different methods to calculate the product sustainability score out of 100, depending on if it's a food, clothing, or other kind of item. Food item scores consider the product's origin, type of ingredients, and if they're in season, and if the product is organic. Because products produced outside their market countries require fossil fuels for transport, international products have a lower sustainability score than local ones. Distances were retrieved from the United States Department of Agriculture database. The seasonality of ingredients may also contribute to the use of fossil fuels for long-distance transportation, as foods that are out of season in a market are usually grown in a foreign country that's in season. Additionally, the type of ingredients in a food item is considered as animals have a far greater resource requirement and detrimental environmental impact as compared to plants.
For example, an apple from your local grocery store would be inputted as so. The user would type in apple, select country since it's likely sourced from somewhere else in the United States, plant and organic, and the calculator would output a score of 73, which means it's fairly sustainable. If you're looking to buy a t-shirt, you would enter the material of the t-shirt, whether it was bought secondhand or not, and the calculator would output a score of 47, meaning that it is decently unsustainable. The calculator also motivates its users to frequently use the app on different item types with its numerous badges and ability to share one's statistics with their friends. Badges will become colorized when the user completes the prerequisites for that badge, such as scanning a certain number of items or a certain type of item. Lastly, the user can learn about what sustainability is in our About page. This page gives information on how the score is calculated, allows users to share the app with their friends, and provides a way to donate to the Environmental Defense Fund. Thank you for listening to our presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Samantha, and the rest of your team. We really appreciate it, and great demonstration. We'll get back to the slideshow now and resume our regularly scheduled programming of seeing all the apps in their video form. So Morgan's going to go back to the next one. I believe it's The Adventurer. Yes, The Adventurer by Larry Thing. In this app, Larry combined games, language, and culture together to allow learners to learn Japanese in a new way. The game contains 13 different scenes that allow learners to explore to and learn more about Japanese culture. And with that, we'll start the video.
Do you like anime, video games, and Japanese culture? Do you feel like learning a new language and new culture is very difficult for you? Well, hi, I'm Larry, and I have made a project to learn Japanese and Japanese culture in a very different and interesting way. So quick info about me. I'm a huge anime fan and I like to learn Japanese culture and their language. I also ask a lot of Japanese learners, and we all agree that when you first start learning the language, it's easy and interesting, but when you go deep in it, especially when you're learning the difficult grammars, the difficult kanjis, and their complex cultures, you got bored. And for some AP students, you won't like to learn this whole book. So I was like, what can I combine the game and then the culture and language together? That's why I make the game, and the type of the game is 2D RPG, and now let me show you how the game works. The platform of the game is Unity, and the language I use in this game is C#. Here are some of the code words. The name of this game is called Boukensha, which means the adventurer. The background of the story is that our player is trapped in a dream located in Japan, and the player has to explore a lot in order to defeat the final boss and escape from the dream. To give a better understanding of Japanese culture and language, I made 13 different scenes for the player to explore. Now, let me show you the fun part of the game. In any scenes, player can walk around, explore, and search the items they want. For example, if you search this vending machine, it tells you how powerful vending machine is in Japan. It doesn't just sell food or drinks, but stuff like books, toys, anime figures, or even medical supplies. Or if you search this building, it tells you what karaoke is. It is basically a place to entertain. You can sing whatever song you like to sing here, and Japanese high school students really like to hang out here. If you search in train station, it tells you how powerful the train system is in Japan. Cars not necessary. People take trains every day. It is very convenient. Basically, every searchable object in this game can teach you a little bit about Japanese culture and Japanese language. There's also a lot of NPCs in this game. You can easily find them on the street. If you go up and have a conversation with them, you can learn more about some interesting Japanese culture. The game also allows the player to acquire some items. For this one, player find a famous Japanese drink lemonade in a stock vending machine.
Player can also open their bag and check the items they found.
I also included a small food shop to let player buy some of the famous Japanese food.
In the game, there are also a lot of buildings you can actually enter. When you're entering the building, there will be a transition scene with a beautiful background and the loading bar at the corner. Now, you've successfully entered the building. You can continue to search and talk to NPCs in the new scene. Finally, there's a boss level to let player do a little quiz. If they get it wrong, player's answer will turn red, and if they get it right, it will become gray. That's basically it for my game. Thanks for watching, and I hope this project will help you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Larry, for that great app. We'll move on to the next one. Next one.
Do you like
Great. Housing Options Made Efficient Home by Lauren McLean. Home serves as a single repository for affordable housing in the city of Los Angeles and helps users pinpoint housing options based on a set of filters and preferences so they can get back on their feet. It is a data aggregation model that collects listings for affordable housing options and organizes them into a single database, allowing users, including those experiencing homelessness, to filter and search through their various options more easily. And with that, we'll watch the video.
Hello, my name is Lauren. I'm the founder of Housing Options Made Efficient, a affordable housing database primarily made for the homeless in Los Angeles. And today I'm going to be showing a little demo of how the app works. So when you open the app, there is a home page, and it takes you directly to a password page. The reason my app is password protected is because it's made with the intention of helping those experiencing homelessness find housing more easily and more efficiently. I've aggregated affordable housing listings onto this application in order to avoid it from becoming another Craigslist, where those who do not necessarily need affordable housing can take advantage of these listings. I've password protected the app, and in order to access the app, one must contact me through my website, and I will give them a password. I have already been in contact with leadership teams at various homeless shelters in Los Angeles with whom I plan to share the app. For now, the password is 1234567 8. When you enter the app, you are placed into a map in Los Angeles. You can immediately see red pins. Each red pin represents one listing that I've scraped from the internet. And here I've zoomed out so you can see every single listing. If you click on a pin, you can scroll through a few listings. But the main way to view listings is by swiping up the blue arrow. As you can see, there are 5 filters at the top. The 5th one is still a work in progress, but the first 4 are working. Clicking into the first filter, which is price, you can see that I can select a range of minimum to maximum rent. Here I've selected a price range below around $1,500, and you can see all of the listings are sort of within that range. The same applies for the number of beds, size and square footage of the house, and the number of bathrooms. So if I were to look for a 1-bedroom house that's roughly below $1,800, as you can see, I'm able to scroll through many options. And here I'm just going to pick a random one that I find. I can see that it will be available soon. I can see it on the map, and there's a button that says book, which I can hit, which will take me to an external site to reach out to the owner. And that's pretty much all there is to the app. And although it's simple, I believe it can make a big impact in addressing the inefficiency in the housing matching system for those experiencing homelessness in Los Angeles.
Thanks, Lauren, for that app that addresses a real problem here and an issue that we're working on addressing through many levels of government. The next app that we have is Quick Sips by Olivia Kong. Quick Sips provides a scroll view of numerous local coffee, tea, or boba shops and around central Los Angeles. Each shop has an info card that consists of helpful information so the user can learn more about the shops before visiting. And with that, we'll listen to the video.
Hello, my name is Olivia Kong and I'm a 10th grader at Harvard Westlake. I created an app called Quick Sips that will help the local beverage businesses around me to be discovered and visited more often to help them grow. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, many businesses had to shut down or cut a lot of the resources that they possessed. Although large companies may have cut expenses and survived through the most severe part of the pandemic, it was different for the smaller companies. I wanted to make something to help all the local beverage businesses shops grow. So, this app is for all the locals that may want to find a new coffee, tea, or boba shop to try while helping those businesses out. To create Quick Sips, I coded it on Xcode and used Swift for both the front end and back end of the application. So let me show you how Quick Sips works. So once you launch the app, you see the hand-drawn Quick Sips logo for a couple of seconds, then you see the info card view. This view contains various local beverage shops around Los Angeles, which I mostly visited over the summer. You can also see the words, "Always a good time to grab a drink," so that users may feel a little more motivated to go out and actually get a refreshing drink. Let me show you the info cards a little more in depth. For the sake of this video, I'll be showing you the first two info cards. Once you click on the information card, you get extra information about the store. First, you see the title of the store in the largest font. For example, it's Boba Time Highland. There's also a like button so that the users can keep track of the different shops that they might want to check out. There's also an export button where you can save the image and then send the information of the information card to any friend or family that they like. So to give the user more information about the store, there's also a description, pricing, and the design. Now if you press the location button, it automatically inputs the address of the store in maps so that the user can see how far or close the shop is to them. If we scroll down, you'll see the website of the store for each of the shops. This allows the user to be able to access and learn more about the shops that they might be interested in. Here's a table view where the user can search up a shop that they might want and then can access the information in the card. Now let's take a look at the map view. This map view shows you the locations of the local beverage stores at a quick glance. Now if you click on the icon, it tells you the name of the store. Now if you take a look at the top left corner and click on it to expand, you can now see extra images of these stores. I hope that this video may inspire others to help out any type of local business in their area. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Olivia. We'll move on to the next one. So this is Shayla's fiction book recommendations for kids by Shayla Agrawal. And this is the last app that was submitted out of 15 apps. Shayla's website recommends certain books based on the genre that user picks. For example, if you clicked fantasy, fantasy books would be recommended, or if you clicked mystery, mystery books would be recommended or pop up. If you like a book, you can directly buy it through Amazon. And with that, we'll listen to our video.
My name is Shayla. I've created a book recommendation service called Shayla's Fiction Book Recommendations for Kids. This website recommends books to kids based on the genre. This app is made for kids, specifically ages 9 to 13. We use Replit to write the code down, and JavaScript, style.css, and HTML.
Okay, so the way my website works is you click a certain genre and books that belong to that genre pop up. So if I click mystery, mystery books pop up. If I click fantasy, fantasy books pop up. If I click drama, drama books pop up. Now, let's say you like one of the books. You can read the description and then you can click purchase on Amazon to see what the price is or even buy it. So I really like books and I'm glad I get to share this with you guys. I hope you find it useful.
Thank you so much, Shayla. And with that, we have gone through all of the apps. I hope you've enjoyed all the videos and the demonstrations. And with that, I'll pass it over back to the Congressman to announce the winners today.
Thank you so much, Aurelia, and want to thank all the students for participating. And you saw the amazing apps and the creative ideas that they came up with. And once again, wanted to thank all the terrific judges who spent their time judging these apps. And I want to give a shout out to my staff. So Aurelia Friedman, thank you for organizing this terrific event, and to our intern, Morgan Lee, and also to our district director, Nico Rodriguez. And now we have the honorable mention for skill. And next slide, that goes to Housing Options Made Efficient Home by Lauren McLean. So congratulations, Lauren, and really pleased that you're able to get the honorable mention. We have another honorable mention, which is an honorable mention for a concept. And when we go to the next slide, and that goes to Our Pantry by Cameron Asher, Gregory Forston, Shoyoung Kim, and Andrew Galen. Thank you so much for submitting your terrific app and for winning this honorable mention. And now we go to our first, second, and third place winner. We'll start with third place. It is Green Check. Tate North, Samantha Chang, Brianna Adewinbi, and Liani Sayat. Thank you so much for putting in this terrific app, and thank you for being the third place winner. And then for second place, we have Noteworthy by Brandon Kirbyson and Tobin Palmer. Thank you for submitting this amazing app, and congratulations on the second place winning entry. And before I announce the first place, Aurelia, why don't you announce to the audience what the first place winner will get?
Yeah, so they'll be invited to House of Code in April of 2023. They'll be able to go to the Capitol. We'll be in contact about all the details about that, and have their app displayed in the Capitol on their website, on the Congressional App Challenge website, and will receive additional prizes from the Internet Education Foundation, which runs the Congressional App Challenge. And for all the winners today, we will be putting out a press release on our website that will summarize all the winners today. And I just want to say, before we announce the first place winner, everybody did just such a great job. They submitted great apps, and it was hard for the judges to make decisions, but they're happy to have reviewed everything, and we're excited to announce the first place winner.
We're also sending congressional certificates of recognition to every participant as well. And with that, let's go to the first place winner. Goes to Ataxia V, Hemiso Wu, and Michelle Song, or Mincho Song. Thank you so much for submitting this first place app, and congratulations. And hopefully I'll be able to see you in Washington, D.C. If there's anything else, thank you all for attending, and congratulations to all the participants on creating these outstanding apps. And thank you again for participating in this Congressional App event. And we're going to be doing another one next year. So please have a good evening, and thank you again for participating.
Thank you, everyone. Keep an eye out in the mail for your certificate. Bye now. Have a good evening.